Alright, so we just got the Skybook from the Hidden Village and have returned once again to the Kakariko village down in the basement of the sanctuary where Shad is studying the statue. You want to set the Skybook to one of your item buttons, then present it to Shad. The guy will take it and instantly recognize that it is written in Sky language, which he is apparently fluent in, so lucky us. He immediately asks if the specific word is the one that will break the seal on the statue in front of us. I don't understand how he jumped to that conclusion. I mean, it's a whole freaking book. Maybe it's just in really big print or something. With that, he will then hold out the book along with a dagger and chant the word towards the statue. If you turn up your volume and listen closely, you can hear him going over his grocery list. That was a joke, by the way. He's mumbling in Japanese, no doubt. Nothing happens to the statue, so Shad gets a little disheartened. He thanks you for helping out and gives the book back to you. After that, he mentions that he will be off trying out this word on the other statues that are found throughout Hyrule. You may have seen them in your travels yourself. In case we need to go talk to him, he marks our map with the statue's locations. This is great since we will need to go to each one of those here in a moment, though we will not bump into Shad while we do all this. After he walks away, Link will hear something futuristic that sounds like it's being powered up. He then pulls out the Dominion Rod out of his pocket, which is apparently huge, and it changes back to its normal color, and the light at the end of it will return. Spiffy! Minda will then appear and state the obvious, for those of you who weren't paying attention or put down the game for a while. This must be the spell that Uku was speaking of to restore the power to the Dominion Rod. We can now move statues again, and Shad just marked our map with all the locations of the owl statues. Yay! So, if you're thinking what I'm thinking, once Minda is done speaking, go ahead and speak to her again to warp. And I'm just going to simply, start from one end of Hyrule and go clockwise to avoid confusion. First off, I'm going to tackle the Bridge of Eldin, so if you do not have the bridge snapped firmly in place where it belongs, you want to go warp over to the Gerudo Mesa, where you can find the missing part of the bridge at the highest point of the mesa itself. It's shooting up into the sky and it's all bright in the desert, so it should be really obvious to find. We're going to warp it over here using Midna, which will allow you to use this warp portal at long last. Anyway, once you get here, you want to run to the north and kill the Bulblin archer who is shooting at you. Once it's defeated, you'll see that there's an owl statue off to the right. If you're playing the Wii version, it'll be to the left. If you're playing the GameCube version, you want to use the Dominion Rod to move it out of the way and walk into the glowy spot to retrieve the first Sky character. Well, that's just dandy. Before we leave, though, there is one more thing we can do here. You want to use the Dominion Rod to take control of the owl statue and walk it off the ledge and onto the bridge. From here, you want to actually walk it over to the other side. This is a very lengthy process. You can actually move slightly faster by rolling, so I suggest you just aim straight ahead and just roll, 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 roll. And as much as I'm sure you're looking forward to watching me roll across this bridge, I'm going to just fast forward through most of this. Once you get over to the other side, you can shoot the Bulblin archer who is in the way, and you may get harassed by the Bulblins that are just outside as well. You can use the statue as a wall, or rather meat shield, and use the Dominion Rod to steadily work your way forward, so that way you don't get shot. You'll see that there's a little area off to the sides. You want to walk the statue off the ledge, and place it in the middle of this little side area. Once you have it nice and situated, you want to go ahead and climb up on the nearby ledge and jump to it. It may take several tries to get it just perfectly centered, but just have patience. Once you have it placed correctly, you want to jump across to the other side and climb up the ladder. Unfortunately, there is a Bulblin archer that is on the wall, which will shoot at you as soon as you get up to the top. However, I'm a ninja, so check out my mad skills. Jealous, ain't ya? With that and him taken care of, you want to open the large chest to get a piece of heart. If you've been following the walkthrough thus far, this should be your 39th piece of heart. That's all we had to do here, so warp on over to the Kakariko Gorge, where the next owl statue is located. Not really much to say about this area. Just like the last one, you want to use the Dominion Rod to pull back the owl statue off the glowy spot. Have Link check it out to mark your next Sky character. Apparently this Kargarok kept coming after me, so I shot it the first time, even though I thought it was leaving, but apparently I forced its hand, or talon I guess. Next, you want to use the Dominion Rod on the owl statue and place it between these two cliffs off to the side. You want to center it as best you can, and then climb up on the shorter end of this cliff. We can now use it to jump across to the upper platform. From here, you want to use the Dominion Rod repeatedly to move the statue. Deactivate it when you're jumping across this little middle gap, though, or else you'll fall down, which is lame. Once you get it placed in the final spot, you want to jump across and round the corner to find a large chest containing an orange rupee, which is worth 100. Woohoo! With that, we're going to continue our mad search for owl statues, so join me in the next area. Now that we have the horse call, we can use that rather than finding horse grass, and yes, I realize there is horse grass nearby in this area. I'm just showing how to use this item. You want to ride Epona all the way to the north, where you can see there's that mark on your map. Alternatively, you could of course just dash around as a wolf. Once you get there, you want to hop off Epona and then blow up the boulders with bombs. Alternatively, you can use the ball and chain, which will work as well. And you may have investigated this area earlier if you were curious, but we couldn't really do anything about it until now. As usual, you want to use the Dominion Rod to walk the statue out of the alcove, then run on in there and get the next sky character. Ooh. Before we leave, as with all of the owl statue locations, there is a secret we can find here. You want to use the Dominion Rod to take control of the statue and then walk it around the tree to find a hole that is in the ground that is conveniently the same size as the statue. Who'd have thought? As you walk it into the hole there, it will snap into place and it will briefly show this little cutscene, which gives us a clue on what to do. Once it ends, you want to go ahead and transform into a wolf and stand on the nearby little mound thing. From here you can perform several Minda jumps in a row in order to access this upper ledge we've never even been to before. You want to travel up to the next area to emerge above the misty Faron woods. You want to open the large chest you find here to get a piece of heart. If you've been following the walkthrough thus far, this should be your 40th piece of heart in total. Only 5 more to go. That's all the time I have for this video, all you happy people, so join me for the next one, where we will continue gathering the remaining sky characters.